Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. Oh, excuse me, I'm catching my breath. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's a wonderful night for us, and hopefully you're really going to enjoy the program we have for you tonight as well. I've had the privilege of the last 5 years, I think, now, to conduct this lovely group of dedicated musicians. And every year that we get together is a fresh one. We have a few new faces, but there's lots of old faces that continue and have been with us for many, many years. As you may have seen actually on the boards, and during intermission, if you haven't seen them already, you can look at them at the middle of the church there, of all the people that have actually been in the group, as far as we know, since 1976, was it, Ron? 76, right? And it's over 500 people altogether. So if you can think of the number of people kind of in here right now and double it, that's how many people have actually played with this group over that period of time. I'm also actually part of a line of conductors that if you read your programs, there's a lovely history, sort of bits and pieces of the history that are written in there. And from the first gentleman that first got the group going, to several people in between, including a good friend of mine, Paul Pulford, who used to play in the New Brunswick String Quartet, and I still see him around, and he's actually retiring back to New Brunswick next year, so I'm really happy about that. And then our next performer, who preceded me, who is David Adams, and he's definitely no stranger to audiences here in Fredericton and definitely around the province. David, along with his illustrious members of the St. John String Quartet, have done an amazing job over 25 plus years now, I think, working within New Brunswick, working with kids, working with orchestras, working with all kinds of ensembles, you would name it. They have had an incredibly positive influence on classical music making in this province over a long period of time. But I guess it was about 6 years ago that I think it was David that came to me and said, look, you know, I'm looking for just a change, and he had so much going on in St. John that he said, Richard, would you take him over? So I thought about it and did. But we really wanted to bring David back for this particular show. And so I chose, I've told the orchestra this, what is one of my favorite violin solo pieces, actually, by Beethoven. He wrote 2 romances, and this is the one I like the best. So I went to Dave and I said, will you play this piece? So he said yes. So I'd like you now to please welcome back to the podium, but next to the podium, actually, David Adams.